puppy dog. I mean, how?
This is really good news for Autumn. So I like this because you get to go, okay, Mystical Dispute, put you to the test. Do you want to negate this? Do you want to negate this? Or do you want an expansion explosion? And of course, I'm talking about the expansion for this. I think how this turn shakes out for Autumn is that they're going to play Stomping Ground. So they have the opportunity to play Stomping Ground, Reclamation, Ambusher, all in the same turn.
Oh my goodness, that's worst case scenario for Jean-Emmanuel Depraz. And like you said in the beginning, if that happened in this game, then it's going to be pretty much over from there. So.
Yeah, this is pretty awesome. Okay, so Nightpack Ambusher back in hand. I think we see, so we see Forest, probably Wreck, plus Ambusher with a mana left over, which there's nothing to really be done with that. But again, now we're playing this weird main phase game, right? Where both players are just tapped out on their own turns. So now you just get to resolve whatever you want to.
It's kind of like what we saw with the Simic Flash deck, previous Mythic Championship, where they're not playing on each other's turns, they're playing in their main phases. So here we go, Nightpack Ambusher gets to join the party once again.
Autumn gets to do this because the last turn, basically Autumn was like, well, what's the worst that you can do? You didn't play Wilderness Reclamation last turn, but just drew Wilderness Reclamation this turn, so that the dynamic of this game is going to change big time.
Oh, yeah. So both Wilderness Reclamations will be on the battlefield, probably not for very long, as we can see the Ether Gust in hand of both players.
That is a huge top deck from Jean-Emmanuel. Like, absolutely huge, because no Wilderness Reclamation there means that you had to gust the Nightpack Ambusher, and then, of course, Autumn's going to keep it, draw it, play it, blah, 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 blah. Now you actually get to do this fun thing, which is untap all of your mana, and now I get to play my Flash game again, and you get to play your Flash game again. So we are transitioning into one heck of a third game here between these two players.
So would you say that that's what Jean-Emmanuel needed to stay in this game?
I think it was an important draw. I don't know if it was what he needed to stay in this game, but it was an important draw because now it turns on the explosion half of Expansion Explosion, where before it was just Expansion because you didn't have enough mana to really make it an explosion. Now you have that.
So Autumn decided to put the Wilderness Reclamation to the bottom of the deck. As we've seen, this game doesn't have to be about the big untap, explode, or face-off. It can just be about creatures on the battlefield, and Autumn's got a very good one down at the moment. It will win the race here. So Depraz really needs to deal with his dog, or he's going to have some troubles.
Now, Depraz had an interesting choice there, and if he wanted to target the Nightpack Ambusher, which Autumn would almost certainly keep on top, or if you want to target the Wilderness Reclamation to kind of slow down Autumn's mana generation, went for Wilderness Reclamation. Autumn immediately put that to the bottom because the Nightpack Ambusher is the more important of the cards right now. Stomping Ground is the battlefield tapped, make a wolf, pass the turn.
Ooh, another Expansion Explosion off the top of the library for Depraz. Does have that other Brazen Bar that he can just try and apply some pressure with and win the race, but at this point, he's not doing that. 14-9 are the life totals. Wilderness Reclamation, we're going to get to tapping. Perhaps kill the Nightpack Ambusher?
It's very unlikely because of the copy of Ether Gust in hand. So that's going to... So you're going to get gusted here if you're Jean-Emmanuel. Now, you've got 6 mana. You need all 8 to be able to explode for 4 on the Nightpack Ambusher. Gust is going to take care of this. And what we're also going to see is this explosion... Assuming it gets gusted here by Autumn, which I'd be shocked if it didn't, this explosion is going to almost certainly go to the bottom because we need a fresh draw step. So that means, again, shields are down. If a Nightpack Ambusher is drawn here by Autumn, the game ends on the spot because you'll have 9 points of damage that way.
Not forgetting.
Or excuse me, not 9. Autumn's at 9. Jean-Emmanuel was at 14. So not ending on the spot, but I mean, kind of. Because
I mean,
too much on the battlefield then.
The Wolves are doing a good job here, just chipping away at Depraz's life total, and they're going to do that again, down to 7.
Okay, so interestingly enough, Autumn flooding.
So, wait, there's no interaction now. Depraz might win this.
Well, so let me see.
Does 3 damage.
An attack for 3 puts you to 6. Explosion for 4 puts you down to 2. So what Jean-Emmanuel can do now is can kill the Nightpack Ambusher. Those wolves that are on the battlefield go from 3-3 to 2-2. And then Jean-Emmanuel gets to continue to play on. So first things first is an attack for 3. Burchett's down to 6.
Missing a land drop there kind of hurts.
It does hurt quite a bit. Because a land drop there is game over. That's 10 mana, 4 to cast Explosion, X is 6. Missing a land drop there is crucial.
Here we go, Explosion does deal with the Nightpack Ambusher, gets to draw some cards, finds more land.
Oh! That's a good draw.
Well, hi there, Uro. How's
that
it going?
That is a good draw.
Yeah, talk about game changers. I think Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath is one of them.
That is a really,
Is this an appropriate time to say yikes?
Yes. Yes.
Yikes.
We've also got the mana to be able to escape it as well.
Oh, and the
Assuming there's
Wilderness
enough,
Reclamation.
assuming there's enough cards in the graveyard to be able to escape here as well. That is an enormous draw.
Oh my
Because this game was really getting away from Autumn.
Yeah, and then Uro just rocks up. He's like, "Hi, I'm ready for work." Yeah, you sure are.
Now, I'm not positive that there are 5 cards in the graveyard right now to
there's
bring
not.
back Uro, so it looks like it's just going to have to be Reclamation. Get in your attack there for 4.
And hope to not die to a big explosion.
Yep, I think... Oh!
Never mind. Well, talk about explosions. This is going to be one of them. That's enough, right?
No cards in hand. So you play.
That's it.
So you play your breeding pool. You play your breeding pool untap. You go to 1.
Oh my goodness!
You have 10 mana. 10 minus. Oh my gosh! X is 6.
I can't believe that draw from Jean-Emmanuel Depraz. He is going to win right here. Expansion Explosion, Autumn Burchett.
My God.
What a way to finish this match.
Oh my God.
Top deck after top deck. Congratulations, Jean-Emmanuel. You are going through to the top 8, but Autumn Burchett is not out of it yet.
What a top deck for Jean-Emmanuel Depraz. Unbelievable. Autumn is devastated, and understandably so. But for the French, a huge, huge, huge top deck.
Massive
3rd copy of Explosion. And it ended up being one of those Wilderness Reclamation games. It isn't always that in the mirror, as we saw in Games 1 and Game 2, but that game it was, and it went to Jean-Emmanuel.
Oh,
huge top deck.
That was certainly an explosive finish to a very, very good mirror match between these two superb players. So big congratulations to Jean-Emmanuel Depraz. He gets to breathe for a little bit. He gets to go and hang out, waiting for his top 8 matches. Goodness me, I think we jumped out of our seats there.
It's not over for Autumn, as you mentioned, but that is a devastating loss. You saw when they drew Uro, they said, okay, I think I'm out of the woods here.
Like
2 copies of Advanced Explosion are taken care of now. I gusted 1 at the bottom, blah, blah, blah. I think I'm okay. And then all of a sudden, boom, 3rd copy of Explosion for XXVI, by the way, and going from 3 to 1 with the breeding pool untapped. Boy, you can't really draw it up much better there for Jean-Emmanuel. Timely top deck, perfect land, because remember, one of those lands could have been a temple, something that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow.
Huge,
so
huge win.
Down to 1, getting XXVI. I want to hear more from Jean-Emmanuel Depraz, who is with Becca right now.
Thank you, Alias. Wow, Jean-Emmanuel, you top decked that Expansion Explosion. Tell me about that final game.
Yeah, I really felt behind the whole game, from the point that they countered my borrower, started a counter war on my borrower and then resolved Reclamation and untapped and then played the Wolf again. At that point, I was 2 spells behind and I was stuck on 4 mana still, so I had a lot of work to do to get back. And yeah, the first explosion didn't resolve. At that point, if they had any other counterspell, I lost. They didn't have it. I managed to kill the Wolf. They don't top deck Explosion. And then I have a turn to... I don't have to top deck that last explosion. That was a way to make things easier, but I could still bounce a Wolf token with Brazen Borrower, have negate up for the next spell, and try to close it out with the Borrower. So, I mean, the explosion wasn't necessary, but it was definitely a nice touch.
Absolutely. Now, this is the first Temur Reclamation mirror that we've gotten to see in the feature match spot, I believe. And it seems to turn really into a competition of more flash, really. Or what do you think is most important in the mirror?
Yeah, that's exactly true. It's a flash matchup. Basically, we're both trying to play blue-green flash as well as we can. I think my version is a little better at that game because I have Chemister's Insight, so I have more instant feed plays at the end of the opponent's turn in case they don't do anything. But Crisis is also very good, so I'm not sure.
Sure, and then with the Chemister's Insight, you can always throw away Uro and be able to escape it, so that's always fun. Now, you almost made it to Worlds last year, and I believe it's your first time at Worlds. What's it like to be here?
It's great. Everyone is so good at this game, and every game is a struggle. Even matchups that are, supposed to be easy, they are not auto wins, but still, and yeah, everyone makes you work for it so hard, and as soon as you make a single misplay, you feel like your life is over, but sometimes it's not the case, so.
Well, let's hope you can keep a cool head because you are on to the top 8. You're going to have an uphill battle, but, there's a lot of people at home rooting for you, so congratulations on moving to the top 8.
Thank you very much.
Let's head on back to Alias and Cedric in the booth.
Thank you so much, Becca. What an absolutely incredible finish to that match. We have way more magic to get into. We're going to see Chris Kvartik versus Sebastian POZZO. But before we jump into that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere.
Autumn Burchett has a chance to be the first Mythic Championship winner / Pro Tour winner from the prior era. That this is, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of people in England screaming at their screens right now,
oh my
rooting
goodness.
for Autumn because this is a big deal, right? And it's an entire country that just hasn't had that level of success yet. And
not the nation that you think of from the echelons of Magic, really.
Right. I know definitely Craig Jones, who was a Pro Tour finalist, was posting that, you know, Autumn has made it to the finals. Maybe they can go one better and win the whole thing.
To win a premier level event, there's a Siren Storm Tamer, but that Wizard's Retort is huge. Now Ikawa needs to find some hand disruption.
Thought Erasure doesn't even do it because Siren Storm Tamer can counter hand disruption off the top.
Now, this was Thief of Sanity off the top of the library. Does that help out Ikawa here? Still counterable, but with, okay, well, look at this. He's got Thief of Sanity and Cry of the Carnarium.
Do you counter this? I don't think so.
You just let it happen.
You have a 3/3.
It
You
is
have a 3/3 Terror,
yeah,
right?
you can just let it happen. Well, it's 3 damage in. Again, the Terramander cannot be adapted. It already has a +1/+1 counter on it.
I don't think you can block here. If you block, you're not giving yourself the best shot at winning, I think.
If you're in Ikawa's seat, you think you just have to hold your breath and take the 3 here?
And yeah, it's a random card for Burchett. If that's, you know, the hard counter that loses you the game, so be it.
But Birch, oh my goodness, it was a hard counter.
It actually is the hard
Look
counter that's going to lose Ikawa the game.
2 Wizard's Retorts and a Spell Pierce.
Ikawa can still chump block this turn.
Right.
But chump blocking is unlikely to win him the game here.
Is there anything good under there, or is Autumn Burchett your first Mythic Championship winner?
That's just
from
a dive
England?
down. He missed.
He missed.
He effectively missed here.
Autumn Burchett is simply looking on and saying, what do you want to do, Ikawa? Because they know in hand are a pair of Wizard's Retorts and an effectively unbeatable situation for Autumn Burchett. This is incredible stuff down the stretch here as Ikawa tries to figure out if there's any possible way for him to get out of this, but there isn't.
Beautiful, beautiful sequencing, prioritization, really valuing what is important here.
And there's Kaya's Wrath. That is going to be met with a counter spell. And is this going to be it? Are we going to see the hand get extended? This is it. Counterspell number 2 for Autumn Burchett. And England has a Mythic Championship winner, and it's Autumn Burchett.
Welcome back to coverage here of World Championship 26, powered by Alienware. I'm Ailey Loney, and this is Cedric Phillips, and we're going to bring you some more action of the constructed portion of Worlds. So up next, we're going to take a look at Chris Kvartik versus Sebastian POZZO. Temur versus Mono Red. What do you think of this matchup?
I'm afraid I've got some bad news, Kvartik fans.
Yeah, he doesn't have any big explodey things that kill the battle.
He does not have Storm's Wrath. He played against Seth Manfield yesterday. He got cleaned up pretty quickly. Doesn't mean it's impossible, obviously, but without Storm's Wrath, that means that any Mono Red player can play all their creatures and run over you. That's exactly what Seth did yesterday.
Pretty much just like...
Maybe that's what happens with POZZO here today. I'm excited to watch this game. I'm a big fan of Chris Kvartik, but this is the one matchup he does not want to play against here this weekend.
Well, let's take a look and see exactly what happened in this matchup. Jumping in here to game number 3, both players have a game win, so this is the decider.
Hey,
and also, both players fighting for their top 8 spot.
He got a game. That's good.
He did get a game, yes. He didn't get Seth Manfield.
The problem here is that
he's on the draw.
He's on the draw. Yeah, this is tough.
Ooh, and he's kept a land without any green or red.
Oh, he's got a Temple of Mystery to start things.
Oh, no, he does. Yes, there it is. It was hiding. All right, so getting things going here. Robber the Rich, Scorch Spitter. This is the ideal start here for Sebastian.
Yeah, he's got a 1 and a 2, and he's got a Robber the Rich that can take some cards as well. So this is exactly what you're looking for. And you also have a pretty good thought, if you are Sebastian, that your Robber the Rich is probably going to hang around for a little while.
Another mountain off the top there. Okay, stop drawing lands now, please. I bet Sebastian's thinking. He wants to see his awesome cards, such as good old Annex, Harden, and the Forge. So Yeah, he's just deciding what it is he wants to play out here. But, you know, like we know, he doesn't really have to be afraid of anything here. Scorching Dragonfire is a consideration, but there's no red mana yet, so...
Yep, so...
anything that could kill him is not, you know, a factor.
Yeah, so the key interaction spell here is Ether Gust and what it can do, and it's going to, I think, take care of the Robber of the Rich, so... At least Kvartek is thinking about it.
Yeah. Letting the trigger resolve, so not going to Ether Gust, a bit of a shake of the head there. I think he missed the opportunity to get that going
Well,
before.
he chose to not do that.
Yeah.
So that was a conscious decision. We're talking about the best players in the world, so if that happened, I don't think it was a misclick. I think that was a decision to actually let that occur.
Okay. Brazen Borrow now being able to get cost, so we can just flash that in. Could have done it whenever he wanted to, really, but Robert the Rich is going to go back on top of the library there for Sebastian POZZO, getting in some more damage, taking Chris Kvartek down to 14.
Kvartek needs a red sword more than I can attempt to put into words, because if he does find one, then that means that he'll be able to play Scorching Dragonfire and expansion it, but he needs to find that red source now.
Oh yeah, if he doesn't, this is going downhill and fast. There was the red source that he needed, the Robber of the Rich stole it. You cheeky little thing. Rimrock Knight is available here if he wants to just get some extra damage through.
Yeah, there's the ability to play a Boulder Rush here. Now, the nice thing here for POZZO, and if you're reading from Mono Red, is the Temur Reclamation deck has a very finite number of cards they can use to interact with you right now.
Yeah.
So that means you can think about this pretty easily and say, okay, what ways can my opponent kind of blow me out here? Another copy of Ether Gust? Sure. Brazen Borrower with the Petty Theft portion of that? Sure. Some sort of counterspell like Thassa's Intervention? Sure. So I don't really need to take a risk here at all, is I think what POZZO is saying, because I'm already pretty far ahead.
Yeah, if Kvartek doesn't deal with this battlefield, he's got lethal next turn. So
Yeah.
things are not looking good here for Kvartek.
Now, if you are Kvartek, you're kind of hoping your opponent plays a spell because you can counter it. So light up the stage, you can actually take care of with Thassa's Intervention.
Yeah.
And then if you peel off that red source, you can expansion your Scorching Dragonfire, kill the Robber of the Rich and the Brazen Borrower, and then
That keeps you in it, yeah.
it keeps you alive.
All right, so just need to find red. Easy, right?
Sort of. There's no guarantee it enters the battlefield.
Is it red?
No.
No, it's not.
Nope.
So that looks like Chris Kvartek is going to scoop him on up. Sebastian POZZO wins it in a pretty easy fashion there. Unfortunately, no red land for Kvartek, but Sebastian POZZO through to the top 8.
So this is a tournament for Kvartek where he has metagamed in a very specific way and it has backfired on him, and he'll be the first person to say that. When he plays against Mono Red, it is all bad news. You really can't. Sky Fires is going to be a very prominent deck. So his deck construction is a little bit different here this weekend, though he does have a copy of Casualties of War in hand right now. Now, got some work to do to get to that powerful 6-mana sorcery, but if he can get to it, he might be able to get back into this game, because it looks like right now, even though he has more life than Levy, it looks like he's a little bit behind.
Yeah, he does indeed. So missing a few land drops there. It seems Sphinx of Foresight just proving how good it is in this deck, being able to scry, see what, you know, just improving the quality of the draws. So that island is going to go to the bottom. Hopefully finding something spicier off the top. Cavalier of Flames is a possibility this turn. There's a Bone Crusher Giant. And,
yeah, this is a nice start here for
yeah.
Levy. Levy is really starting to turn this game around. He's got Devout Decree. That looks like it can take care of the Mayhem Devil. You know, also you can do it via Deafening Clarion if you want to. So the nice thing here, if you're Raphael Levy, is that you have options on how you want to play your turn.
no oven either for Glogowski, which I bet you he's wishing he had.
Yeah,
You know, 10 is like nothing with this deck.
Glogowski looks like he's probably mulliganed at least once this game, because he just doesn't have a build of resources on the battlefield right now. Now, he did draw copies of Witch's Oven over the course of this game, but you see the disenchant in the graveyard there for Raph means that he put a priority on killing that powerful artifact, because that's the engine that makes the deck go.
Oh, yeah. Devout Decree is going to take care of one of these creatures. It's going to be the Mayhem Devil, so just protecting the life total against any additional pings. We will get one, though, with the sacrifice of the food token to the Cauldron Familiar that's in the graveyard. So Raphael Levy goes down to 9. He also has the Deafening Clarion and no more food on the battlefield, so this will also take care of this battlefield.
Yeah, if he wants to use Deafening Clarion here. Now, remember, he's already attacked, so that means the lifelink aspect of Deafening Clarion is not going to be able to come into play here. So what I think we're going to see is Steam Fence on the battlefield tapped, and we could just hard cast a Bone Crusher Giant this turn if we want to, but it looks like he might just leave up Stomp. Ultimately, one thing he can also do is, because he has plus Teferi on his turn, that means he can play Deafening Clarion at instant speed and kill all of these Cauldron Familiars. So again, Raph, I think, is in a pretty commanding position right now. It looks like these cats are going to split the difference in slowing down Teferi and dealing a point of damage, and then Thrashing Bronson will come down post-combat. But I really, really, really like Raph's positioning here in this third game.
Yeah, this is looking good so far. I mean, next turn he can go Bone Crusher Giant onto the Thrashing Brontodon, Deafening Clarion, get the life link for the Sphinx, you know, and then just pad the life total a little bit there. Elspeth Conquers Death is on top of the library, and yes, please, I will take that, says Raphael Levy. So let's get to business here. Let's get rid of these cats on the battlefield, saying that as a crazy cat lady hurts my soul, but, you know, they're pesky little kittens and they need to be dealt with, and they have been. Sphinx's Foresight is going to get through for the 4 points of damage and gain 4 life too. And he has the option now to get rid of this Thrashing Brontodon, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So no more creatures on the battlefield for Glogowski. He is very behind.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Piotr's best draw is here because Trail of Crumbs, is fine, and that one can't be killed by Elspeth Conquer's Death, but he doesn't have the engine really online right now.
Can draw a card here, so possibly something on top that'll help him.
Again, I believe that he's got to continue to try to play towards that Casualties of War, which means that he's got to put a priority on trying to find lands, be able to cast that and blow up the Teferi, the Sphinx of Foresight, in a land, but I'm not even sure if that's a game-winning play right now.
So the Cauldron Familiar does give him 1 point of life. Fires of Invention off the top of the library. Yes, please.
Yeah,
I think that's going to stay there.
It looks like he does want to keep that one because he can play Fires and then Cavalier Flame in the same turn if he'd like to. And I got to checkmate now to see if this is lethal. And I think Raph is doing the exact same thing because the thought process here is if I bounce your Cauldron Familiar, that's one less blocker. I play Fires, I play Cauldron Familiar, I give some beatdowns. Is that enough to kill you straight away? I got 6, 10. I think he may be a point short right now.
I don't think it's lethal just yet. We might be wrong, but let's see what happens here. Discarding. Does he want to discard these cards? I think no. They're pretty good, so let's keep those.
Yeah, these are actually pretty good cards to have in hand here in Elspeth Conquer's Death and Teferi Time Raveler. So I can see an argument for keeping both of these cards. Now you give your creatures haste.
Yeah.
You can, of course, give him
12, he's
+1
one
+0.
short.
Yeah, so he's 1 point short. He can bounce the Cauldron Familiar if he wants to. He doesn't have to, but I like the idea of getting your opponent down to 1. Because that means that future stomps are lethal.
And a Kenrith.
Kenrith is going to make this game super easy. So yeah, everything coming up.
Yeah.
Everything coming up, Raph, Levy.
What do we draw? That is a land, so we can casualties here, but that does not deal with the creatures on the battlefield. So Raphael Levy stays in the competition. Unfortunately, Piotr Glogowski is therefore eliminated. Wow.
A tough way to go. Our only Jund Sacrifice player here in the tournament. I think everybody kind of knew planning for the tournament. I talked